guys. Okay, so I haven't made a video in a little while and I really wanted to get this update on there. I'm not as tech savvy as I wish I was, so I don't have any cool graphics and I haven't put any pictures in here yet. I don't know how to work it. Hopefully if I do more of these I will, but sorry, I just tried to get my toddler to bed. I'm running around so I'm out of breath. But I really wanted to talk to you guys about the process and my recovery and how great I'm feeling since the removal with Dr. Hughes in LA. So in August, I contacted him. I sent pictures of my MRI and I sent pictures of myself. He responded through email, told me he was sure he could help me. He quoted me between 7 and 12 grand. It ended up being $8,000 for me. That included all the hospital stuff, anything, anesthesia and all that. And I scheduled my surgery for the 29th of August. And I flew down to LA and I got a hotel called Encore. Just a small one. It was nice. It was right down the street from Dr. Hughes' office. I went directly from the airport to his office. There for a little while filling out paperwork. We did a consultation. I got to meet him in person. I do have some little interview videos my friend did with me while we were waiting for him to come in. So if you guys are interested, I do have some other small videos on my channel. He was really great. I was really confident in his work. I'd already seen a lot of his YouTube videos and I was very excited about his technique. I think that the most minimal scars and, incisions and the most minimal amount of stuff that he has to take out, the better. He was really careful about keeping as much healthy tissue as possible. On his channel, my surgery's on there under silicone removal with hidden scars. And you can see that he went right inside my tattoos. My incisions were like 2 inches long. They look amazing. I'll try to get you guys something here in the video to show you. I don't know how to add the pictures, but I am sharing all pictures on my Instagram, or if you guys want to email me or find me on Facebook, I am totally open to answering all questions. I'm really just excited that I found a good doctor, and I'm excited that I'm feeling good, and now I can eventually do my BBL to replace some of the tissue that I lost in my butt. I don't think Dr. Hughes made it any worse at all. He just took the lumps and the bumps out. You can see in the video he actually digs around inside of your butt cheek and finds the lumps and cuts them out. I had little black balls of stuff. It was really kind of gross and crazy to look at. That poison was in my body. So I went into surgery. Sorry, I always get off track because I'm a rambler. But I went into surgery around, I think it was around 11 o'clock. They just walked me to the back. I had my scrubs on. I walked to the back. They cleaned me up, wiped the iodine all over me. I got to meet the anesthesiologist, who was super handsome, and the nurse was very handsome, and they were both very nice and helpful. The lady nurses were great too. And I just laid there and they cleaned me up, got me ready, laid me on the bed. He had me, count down, all that fun stuff, and I woke up a couple hours later. It did take about 3 or 4 hours. Mine was really close to the surface of my skin, so he had to be a little bit more careful. And I did have one really deep one on my right side, a big lump that was causing me a lot of issues. So my right side was worse than my left. In the video, he talks about how he got 3 to 4 times as much stuff out of my right butt cheek as he did my left one. And it's crazy because the right one was the one causing me more pain and more numbness, especially when I drove and stuff like that. And I no longer have those feelings, so I'm super excited that he was able to get that out. After surgery, I stayed around for about an hour. I was a little nauseous from the anesthesia. I did throw up, but I was fine pretty quickly. I was able to walk. I was able to sit. It was actually pretty comfortable from what I was expecting. I was originally planning on going by myself, but I found out that a couple of my friends from back in the day actually lived in LA, so I was able to have them visit me, and they brought me some snacks and a blunt. Maybe we won't tell Dr. Hughes that, but I was actually fine. I drove around with my friend. I wouldn't suggest being like up and walking or doing anything crazy because you will get really swollen, and the swelling is what caused the most issues with like going back to work and stuff. So I flew in on a Wednesday, had my surgery. I had 2 days there. On Friday, I went back in to see him just so he could tell me how it went, and he told me that, they can never get 100% out, but he really felt like he did get all my problem areas out and the things that were, really unhealthy. And he said he thought I would have a really good result, and that when I came back for my BBL, that he was really thinking that we could fill my indents back out. And the indents, like I said, were from the silicone eating my natural tissue. It actually made my butt smaller before I even had the surgery. I don't feel like I was deformed from the removal surgery. I feel like I was actually deformed from the silicone itself. I am going to upload another video about my original injection story. I really want to get the word out there because I've actually had a few women contact me about wanting to know where they could find someone to inject them since I've made these videos. And it just makes me really sad that people aren't paying attention because we don't know what these substances will do to our body. Like I said, I was sick immediately, and then I was fine for years. And then when I got pregnant and had my son, my body changed, and that's when I started having issues. So it's better to just leave these things alone. We got to do them right the first time, whether you go, to a surgeon in the U.S. or even if you go out of the country, you need to just make sure you're really doing your research, and whoever your doctors are certified, and they've done a lot of people, and you can find real reviews, and you just be really careful because we all make stupid decisions, and trust me, none of us are alone. That's why I'm sharing this. That's why I'm so open to talking to anybody who wants to message me. When I was researching, I had a lot of people that wouldn't respond. I was just felt like I was grasping at straws trying to find information about this stuff, and it's really an epidemic. I've probably had at least 30 women that I've spoke to individually about this, and a lot of women that I know have kind of, watched my page or liked my stuff, and I have a feeling that they were, maybe they were thinking about this or they're also dealing with some of the same issues. So if you feel like you're alone, you're not. And I, once again, got rambling, but I do want to get back to the story. So after my surgery, I went home 2 days later. I flew home on the plane. It was about a 3-hour flight. It wasn't super comfortable. I did get pretty swollen, but I brought a pillow to sit on. I sat the whole time. It wasn't horrible. I did have them wheel me in a wheelchair through the airport. It was kind of cool, but, kind of cool with your butt wrapped up, telling everybody that you had silicone removal surgery. And the girl pushing me, she actually said she pushed K. Michelle when she had hers, so interesting. But it wasn't too bad. The plane ride wasn't bad. Coming home, I had a couple friends here that were helping me with my son. The first week was a little exhausting. I didn't do a whole lot. I laid around. Having a compression wrap on was what he suggested to help with the swelling, and that definitely helped a lot. I didn't take any or very many of my pain meds, maybe a handful throughout the first 2 weeks. But like I said, it wasn't bad unless I was up moving around too much. If I was walking, I actually tried to go back to work after a week and overdid it a little bit, and my right side swelled pretty bad, and it leaked a little bit. Nothing major, but I probably should have stayed down for about 2 weeks. And then after the 2 weeks, I feel like I pretty easily could have went back to work and back to fully functioning. The only thing after those 2 weeks is I did still have swelling. I don't feel like the swelling went all the way down for really, honestly, about 6 weeks. My butt was plumper than it was before. It actually looked better because it filled out some of that loss that I'd had. And after the 6 weeks is when the swelling went down, and I could see, where the indents were. My incisions look great. They're not very noticeable at all. I'm really happy with that. I also didn't notice, I couldn't tell any difference at first. I couldn't feel the lumps anymore, but that was the only difference. And after the initial 6 to 8 weeks is when I could finally feel that those lumps were fully gone. I could kind of feel the emptiness where he'd taken the stuff. It doesn't look very empty. It still looks like a normal, but it actually doesn't look crazy at all considering he cut tissue out. But it looks pretty normal. But I do definitely still plan to get the BBL because I'm not happy with the indentations that were there originally. So overall, I'm super happy with Dr. Hughes. I've sent a couple other girls his way. I'm not getting paid for this. I just am, you know, I just really want to share my experience, and I hope that my experiences and my research can help somebody else. I'm going to try to show you guys my butt now so you can see what it looks like, because I don't know how to insert those silly pictures that everybody has. One of these days I'll not be such an old lady. Okay, so my right side is the worst side. How do I turn my camera around? Oh no, I don't know how. It's not letting me turn my camera around. Okay, so you can kind of see that there's an indent right here. You can definitely see it. Now from the back, it doesn't really look too bad. In certain clothes you can see it more. This is my right side. This was the worst of the two. And if I turn here, you can see the left side indents a little bit too. But it honestly does not really look bad. I had a pretty good nice butt at the bottom and in the middle. And those indentations here on the sides are where the silicone took my natural fat. So, oh man, I'm getting fluffy in the stomach now, but you could see just a little bit. I hope that that was pretty good. Like I said, the more pictures and videos will be on my Instagram, and I have no problem sharing them if you guys want to send me a message. I hope that this wasn't too rambling. I know that I'm not great with these videos yet. I'm definitely just trying to share my raw experiences, and I just hope that this comes across the right way and everyone gets some questions answered. And like I said, if not, just message me. I'm totally open. Mwah.